Hi, welcome back. I'm Micah.
Rachel.
We're mom and dad, and today we wanted to just go over a little bit of what to expect when you have multiples. So, do you want to start off, or do you want me to start off?
I don't care. You can start off if you want. You can do
Okay.
the whole cost of everything.
Okay, so just a quick rundown. We're going to do everything just very general. The cost of, let's start with the hospital stay.
Yeah, the hospital.
So, after everything was said and done, the boys spent about 30 some days in the NICU.
Right.
You were in there off and on
For like a week.
no, you were in there before Thanksgiving and then also before.
But after I had the.
Yeah. So, her total stay came to about $1 million. Now, obviously, thank goodness for insurance and all that fun stuff. But the boys' total bill came to a little over $3.5 million. So total about $4.5 million is what the total cost of the hospital stay was. When we got them home, we were getting formula and all that because there was just no way to keep up with her. You were pumping.
Yeah.
But there was still no way to keep up.
In the hospital, we kept up pretty good because they supplemented with formula there.
Right.
But yeah, at home I couldn't.
So when we got home, though, we were buying approximately right around $700 of formula a week. Or not a week, sorry. A month.
Even more.
It felt like it.
I know.
Our whole pantry was stocked with formula.
Yeah.
So yeah, $700 per month. Is what we were spending on formula. Just a rough estimate, though. We tried to keep track of all of our diapers that we used and also how many bottles we fed.
Yeah.
From the time they came home from the hospital until their first birthday party.
Which was a good thing.
And the amount of diapers we went through was right around 10,300 diapers. That was from the time they came home from the hospital until the time that we had their first birthday party. So that gives you a rough estimate. It may be more, it may be less, depending on
yeah,
how many blowouts you have in the meantime.
Right.
As far as bottles goes, we actually had 12,200 bottles that we fed, which is kind of a crazy amount if you think about it.
Right.
The formula, we had actually mix it up every night, so it would be another tip there. Mix it up ahead of time. Put it in the fridge in a big 1 gallon pitcher.
Well, they have those ones that with the twist top lid to where you can actually shake the formula up. Because in a pitcher you'd have to stir and stir and stir.
Right.
We like the ones where you could turn the lid and then shake. So.
Yeah, and then it gets all the bubbles out though, so that way they don't have as much problem with colic
next day
and that kind of stuff. And then you pour all your bottles at the beginning of the day, and then we would put them all in the fridge, and that way all you had to do is just go grab them out. Anyway, we'll get more into that down in the tips section of the video.
Yes.
One of the things that's the most difficult to get used to when you have triplets is we had a parent multiples book that we read, and they talked
that helped out a lot.
Yeah, and they talked about the instant celebrity of it. Basically, as Rachel likes to refer to it, as becoming the walking zoo.
Yeah, we were literally a walking zoo.
It first hit us when we got home, and the first time we took them out to the store. We were just going out to go get groceries. We were tired of being stuck in the house.
I think it was Walmart.
Yeah, we went to Walmart.
Yeah.
And we walked in the side where the produce was. And I think we got to about where the first bin of apples is, right as you walk in the door. And literally, I looked up in the whole.
Well, we also had this stroller.
Oh yeah, so the stroller was
that wasn't helpful, but you had to have something. So of course they were stair steps, and there was all three, and so you could tell that they were all in car seats.
6-foot stroller.
Right. So
3 car seats.
That didn't help either, but you have to have something to transport them around the store. So
right.
That was not helpful for everybody there. I mean, they were just I feel like it was a swarm of people.
I looked up, there was between 12 and 16 people standing around the stroller, and of course they basically stopped us. They stood right in front of the stroller, so you couldn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
And there was even ladies from the checkout aisles, like the people that worked at Walmart were coming over. Like they'd just leave their line and they were like, "Oh, I gotta go see this." And at that point, it kind of made sense what they were saying. You became a walking attraction everywhere you went, and even just going up and down the aisles, people would want to stop and talk to you. And mind you,
want to touch them.
Oh, yeah.
I was a germaphobe because of them being in the hospital already. I was really anti.
And they were preemie.
Be careful, wash your hands. So they were wanting to come over and touch them, like their face, and grab their pacifiers that go in their mouth and everything. And so I was just like, "Ooh, can you please not touch? Try to be nice." I know.
We very quickly developed the you can look but don't touch.
Yeah.
And we would make sure and tell everybody that when they would come up.
Yeah.
Not because we were wanting to try to be mean people or anything like that, but it was just, it was during cold and flu season when we first started taking the boys out.
Yeah.
And just trying to be careful. And
so then the questions that we got.
Then there's the questions.
Multiples of questions for multiple babies.
So plan on lots of questions. Obviously the first one right off the bat is, are they triplets?
Yeah. I mean, they see them, but then they just, I think, have to ask. But, yeah, are they triplets? And you're just like...
Another funny question was, are they yours? No, I actually found...
Oh, maybe they think they're babysitting.
Found some babies and put them all on a stroller.
And then we'll skip to, can you tell them apart?
Yeah.
Like, they always ask, can you tell them apart? And honestly, from the beginning, we could tell them apart.
They all have different personalities. They all cry differently. They all respond differently to you.
Right.
They are triplets, but they are 3 different people. And
next one.
Never had any issues with that.
Would be, are they natural?
Oh, yes. Then there's that question.
Instead of saying, did you take fertility or whatever, it's, are they natural? I'm like... I want to look at them and be like, no, they're fake.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fake. They're not real. No, instead of asking, were you on fertility, it was, are they natural? So
yes, and then you will hear 150,000 times, oh, you have your hands full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you have your... Yeah. You get so tired of hearing that over and over and over again. And I'm sure every person that says it probably thinks that they're the first one that said that. But
yeah, and then how did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I came up with lots of smart remarks to that.
Yeah, you did. How did that happen? And then one time we were, I think it was Walmart again, and the lady in front of me, bless her, but she's just like, you poor thing. Like, oh, that must be awful. And I'm thinking, no, I'm blessed with 3. I try to explain to her, I'm so blessed with 3. But she's like, oh, you poor thing. And I know she probably was, I probably looked misheveled and a mess. And that's probably why she's saying you poor thing. Because I looked probably horrible and horrific to her.
Yeah. And also you get the, well, how do you do that? Like,
how do you do that?
And honestly...
I didn't know any better because I didn't have any before the boys. Right. So this was my first go around. So I just took on the role of the 3. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's move on to tips for parents of multiples. I know, of course, you can get books and things like that. I think there was a multiples manual or something like that we read.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed
and we've also had some other friends who've had triplets. And we've passed on a lot of the stuff that we've had to them.
Books,
and the biggest thing that you plan on when you have multiples, plan on no sleep.
Yeah. For the first year.
For that first year, you are just going to be sleep deprived all the time. I know I worked still full time while we were going through all this, and it was nothing for me to go to work on less than an hour of sleep. And then come home, and you're used to when you get sleep deprived, you'll just crash for 12 hours or whatever and catch up. And it never came. It was every day. I tried not to miss any feedings.
Yeah.
Even all through the night. We fed them every 2 hours around the clock.
Yes.
So
2 to 3. Yeah.
So it would take about an hour to feed, and then by the time you do diaper change and put them down, the most sleep you would get was 45 minutes. And then it was time to get up and do it all over again. Now, if any of them
It's
cried in that,
because it's a process of getting the bottles ready. And
yes, it is a process, and so
burping in between, and all of that.
Yeah, especially when they're preemies like that, they eat very, very, very slowly.
Yeah.
So
it's not like a normal baby, and that bottle's gone at all. It's just very slowly, and then you have to stop, a lot, like often to burp them because of them sucking in air because of them being so preemie.
And even once they started getting a little bigger and they started drinking the bottles better and all that, you still have they're up every few hours or a few minutes. Like I forget how long was it before they actually slept through the night. And I remember the first time it happened, we woke up and were just like terrified because we thought we'd slept through feedings.
I think I wanted to say it was like, I don't know, I don't want to be wrong because I don't remember hardly the first year, but I wanted to say like 5 to 6 months.
Yeah, I think it was 5 to 6 months before we actually, and that when I say slept through the night, that was probably 5 hours. I think they slept through one feeding.
It wasn't like 8.
Yeah, they slept through one feeding, and that was like amazing.
Right. And then you need to have a support system.
Oh yes.
You have to have a support system, especially at the beginning, because my mom, 6 weeks she was with us, and I don't know how I would have done it without her. There's no way I would have been able to.
And
I'm sure I would have found a way, but I would have had less sleep and more deprived.
Never missed a feeding.
Yeah. And we a couple of times, my mom and I would try to get the third baby so he could sleep, which that would be very rare because he would hear us and he would wake up because we were very light sleepers at that point of getting up and hearing them. So he would still get up and help. But there was a couple times we sneaked a feeding, for him so he could sleep. And then they did the same for me too. So, but you need that support system. You're going to need somebody.
Right.
If not more than someone to help.
And you get a lot of people who, when they find out you're pregnant with multiples, are going to say, hey, I want to come help. I want to come help. I want to you'll just have to wait and see whether or not they actually show up. And if they do, the other thing is finding people that are willing to jump in there and help. It's one thing to go and see the zoo and look at the exhibit, but not interact. So a lot of people wanted to come and watch and see, like how we did it and all that kind of stuff. And all we're thinking is, how about you guys feed them and we'll go sleep?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that didn't happen a whole lot. So that's another thing to consider.
The other thing is write down everything.
Oh, yes.
Take plenty of pictures. Write down feedings,
Yeah, so we literally had a journal.
Yeah,
for
bowel movements and pee, and you need to
so
write that stuff down.
When their diaper changes were,
yeah,
all that, so you don't get confused and accidentally change one but forget to change another one. Which obviously they still cry and whatever, but a lot of it too is elimination because when they cry like that, you can go and see, oh, okay, well, yeah, they've already, had a bowel movement, they've already had a diaper change, they've been fed, we gave them gripe water, things like that. So it automatically rules out a lot of things that could possibly be wrong with them.
Thank goodness for his mom. She was there to take a lot of pictures for us because, a lot of times we get so tired, I'd forget, to even take pictures that day or the next day or whatever. So she took a lot of pictures. So I have a lot of pictures to look back on and be like, oh yeah, that happened because I forget.
It jogs your memory. It does.
Yeah, because of that lack of sleep for that long a period of time, we were exhausted.
Yeah, we pretty much lived on caffeine.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. By stocking Mountain Dew and coffee.
Yeah. Oh, and then also let's get back to the bottles. When we would feed them, we had I don't know what. Did we come up with that, or did I see that in a tip or something?
I think that was a tip in one of the multiples books that they were talking about.
Okay. I had like it was more of a shallow crock pot. It wasn't so deep, because you wouldn't put much water in it. But I had a crock pot, and we had it on low.
Yeah, you just keep it on low. Keep it on low all the time.
Low or warm, one of the two.
That crock pot was on for almost a year.
Yeah, and we only had so much water in it, and you would just put the bottles in there for 5 minutes?
About 5 minutes.
And then they were
But
heated.
you could put all the bottles in at one time, and there was
3.
no hot spots ever. So
Yeah.
because of the way it heats it, it heats it slowly, and you take it out, check it on your arm, and then all 3 bottles are ready to go at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So we would get, when we were getting ready to go get the kids, we would go put the bottles in, get those all ready to go, and then when we actually go take them out to feed them, bottles are ready to go, and that was a lifesaver. Highly recommend. Get you a crock pot. Don't plan on using it again afterwards, because if you have lime in your water or anything like that, it just after being on for that long and cooking all the lime out, it just gets lined inside there. But it's better than any bottle warmer you'll ever get, and it's a lot better than using a microwave.
Yeah. Then schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah.
Yes. Live by that schedule.
Yeah.
Plan everything you do around that schedule.
It's total chaos if not. It really is. I mean, they had them on a schedule from the NICU, which was great. So that way, when they came home, we could continue relative with that.
Well,
schedule.
and they sat down with us and we developed the schedule of what we wanted to do. They told us, what we needed to do, and then we set up, okay, well, this is when we want to do our feedings, and they helped us get on that schedule before we even came home. So it was pretty seamless when we came home. We were just able to keep them on the same schedule, and it was great.
And then, of course, we got to gradually sleep a little bit more and less feedings. But over that time, we knew we were doing this, and this. And then, okay, bad time. Or 45 minutes.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Maybe in some of the other videos, we'll get into, some of the tips and stuff for colicky babies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff
you already mentioned earlier, gripe water.
Yeah, gripe water it was a godsend to us. Nice thing is it's all natural, so you can give it to them from the time they're preemie all the way up. I know a lot of people use gas drops and stuff. For some reason, the gas drops didn't work very well for the boys. So we used gripe water instead, and that helped out tremendously with not only the colic, but also
Dane was very colicky. So
yes, he was very. Another idea, if your local store doesn't carry gripe water, our local Walmart didn't carry it. I actually went in and talked to the pharmacist. They will order it for you and keep a few bottles of it in the actual pharmacy back there, so that way you can just come and get it whenever you need it. So go in and talk to your pharmacist. If your store doesn't carry it, they'll get it and carry it for you. Thankfully. So yes, and it's not cheap, but the stuff's liquid gold. It worked wonders for our kids.
Another trick though too was I tried Dastadin. It didn't work out well for my kids for some reason.
No, it didn't.
And someone I don't know if we found or someone had given it to us, but Boudreaux's, it's called Boudreaux's butt paste, was
Stuff's
the
amazing.
best thing. Yes.
So you put some of that on, and then put some powder, just regular baby powder over the top of it, and it'll kind of keep it from wiping off. And normally, if they had any kind of rash or anything like that, it would be gone within a day or so after putting that on with the powder. And that stuff was amazing.
Yeah.
Another thing that it's not really cheap. I think it's like $7 or $8 for a tube of it, but it's worth its weight in gold when you have a kid that's screaming because they hurt. So for sure. So I don't know how many more things you want to get into in this video, but
we won't make it as long as our first video.
Yeah, sorry about making the first one so long. I know a lot of people probably didn't have an hour to sit down and talk, so we'll try to keep these a little shorter and we'll do it in smaller chunks. So
right. But if you have any questions, also you can write them in the comments too, and we'll comment back.
Absolutely. So. If you are having multiples, congratulations. Yeah. Even if you're having a single, there's nothing like it. I wouldn't change my life for anything. It is crazy, but we embrace the crazy.
Yeah, we totally embrace the crazy. We're surviving triplets.
Yes, we are. So, hope everybody has a great day.
Yes.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
Let us know if there's any other questions that you would like us to answer, and we'll have you to cover it in one of our future videos.
Yep.
So
Sure will.
All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.